So, Tony, recently Discovery Silver had some big news about a week or so ago. You announced the acquisition of the Porcupine gold assets from Newmont in your hometown of Timmins. I'd love to know a little bit more about the background to that. Was that something that you heard about on the grapevine? Did Newmont call you? How did you hear about that?
Well, actually, I think it was Newmont had prescribed that when they did the Newcrest transaction, they were going to have to sell some non-core assets at some time before it closed. By the time it closed, now it took quite some time for that transaction to close. For whatever reason, I think government approvals, etc. But it had been announced for quite some time, so it was known about, and they know that they were going to run a process. They had the operations in Australia, the one in Africa, the three operating gold mines in Canada, one gold project in Canada, as well as the Victor, the project in Colorado. So yeah, it was well understood, and it was a competitive process that they ran
right
for the asset.
And did Discovery, knowing that you have an asset in Mexico, you live in Toronto with a home in Timmins, I guess you would have had a hometown advantage in terms of understanding what these assets were like. Did Discovery think about other things to do apart from buy these assets from Newmont?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, recognize you had a world-class deposit in a project in Mexico, the Cordero project, one of the largest undeveloped silver projects in the world. And when it's built to be it's one thing to be a large silver project, but our deposit, but when it's built to be one of the largest silver mines in the world as well. So, it's a significant project. I mean, and to be I suppose to be transparent. I mean, when I looked at Cordero, and you're sitting there thinking, well, what are you going to do? And I, again, being always cognizant of the fact that at some point in time, Newmont might want to sell the Porcupine assets. When I went down and I looked at Cordero, and when I was asked to get on the board of this, and I looked and I said, geez, I see some similarities and synergies between what Newmont has at the Peñasquito project in Mexico. I also see similarities and synergies potentially with another company that owned projects in Porcupine, Pan American Silver. So we say, it's a great project, a world-class project. Maybe we can leverage it for something bigger and better.